Good evening and welcome to the February 12th, 2024 meeting of the Florissant City Council. I'd ask you all to stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Yes, sir. Siam? Here. Harris? Here. Manganelli? Here. Egan?
Here.
Kudos absent. Shildroth? Here. O'Donnell? Here. Pagano? Parson?
Let the record reflect that a quorum is present for the agenda this evening. Next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Are there any corrections or additions to the meeting minutes of January 22nd, 2024? Not seeing any. Mr. Siam makes a motion to approve the minutes and is seconded by Mr. Harris. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. And opposed? And the minutes are approved. Our next item on the agenda will be special proclamations. The first proclamation is for Black History Month. Madam Clerk, will you please read the proclamation?
Whereas the Black History Month 2024 theme, African Americans in the Arts, explores key influence African Americans have had in the fields of visual and performing arts, literature, fashion, folklore, language, film, music, architecture, culinary, and other forms of cultural expression. And whereas we celebrate by shining a light on the visual and performing arts, literature, fashion, folklore, language, film, music, architecture, culinary, and other forms of cultural expression in which African American influence has been paramount. Whereas African American artists have used art to preserve history and community memory, as well as for empowerment, artistic and cultural movements such as the New Negro, Black arts, Black Renaissance, hip-hop, and Afrofuturism, have been led by people of African descent and set a standard for popular trends around the world. Whereas blues musicians such as Robert Johnson, McKinley, Muddy Waters, Morganfield, and Riley, B.B. King, created a nurtured styled music has become a bedrock for gospel, soul, rock and roll, and other still popular and evolving forms of music, including hip-hop, which continues to be a pivotal force in political, social, and cultural spaces, lifting up issues such as racial violence, sexism, and economic disinvestment. Whereas Black contributions to the literature include works by poets like Phyllis Wheatley, essays, autobiographies, and novels by writers such as David Walker, Maria Stewart, and Octavia Butler. Black aesthetics have also manifested themselves through sculptors like Edmonia Lewis and Wangechi Mutu, and painters like Henry O. Tanner and Lena Iris Victor. Whereas today and every day, we celebrate African Americans and the arts and encourage all people to recognize and confront systemic racism in our neighborhoods and the wider community by standing in the gap at every opportunity, bridging barriers with fearlessness and determination to fight against racism and bigotry and improve representation of Black people not only in the arts but of all facets of our society. Now, therefore, I, Timothy J. Lowry, Mayor of the City of Florissant, Missouri, and members of the City Council, hereby proclaim the month of February 2024 as Black History Month in the City of Florissant and call upon all citizens, public officials, and educators to observe this month with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities.
The next item on the agenda is a presentation by Missouri American Water.
Good evening, Chairman, Mayor, and other council members. My name is Summer Richardson, and I'm with Missouri American Water. I'm the Government Affairs Specialist, and we want to thank you guys today for allowing us to be here to be able to present to you the upcoming Charbonnaire project. Today we have with us from the team of American Water, Mickey, who's in charge of pretty much going to break down the whole entire scope of the actual project, give you a little bit more of the timeline, details, that kind of thing. And then we also have Dave, who is a part of the operations area. And if there's any additional questions related to some of the details of the operations piece, he's here to answer those questions. So thank you, and without further ado, Nikki.
Chairman, Mayor, members of the council, thank you for letting us come tonight to present our upcoming water main project on Charbonnier Road. All right, so here's these are specifics about the project. We're replacing about 6,000 feet of 6 and 8 inch water main on Charbonnier Road between Shackelford and about a block west of Lindbergh. The old water main that we're replacing is some of it's 6 and some of it's 8 inch. We're replacing it all with 8 inch PVC water main. And as part of the project, there will be about 100 service lines that we will be transferring to the new main. So now I'll just give you some of the process that we will go through whenever we're replacing this water main. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to look for utilities that are in the right-of-way. We've already sent letters to all the people who live along or have property along the project and letting them know that we're going to be in the area, who to contact if they have questions or comments, and they also need to mark any of their own private utilities that they have in the right-of-way, like private dog fences or lawn irrigation systems. After that, we're going to be saw cutting to make sure we have a nice, clean, smooth edge of the pavement to excavate. And after that, we'll start installing the water main. The pipe comes in 20-foot lengths, so that's about how long our excavations are going to be. Typically, we'll excavate about 20 feet or a few more feet. We'll put the water main in, and then we'll backfill that portion of it. And this is kind of what it tends to look like. Charbonnier is a major road, so it'll look a little bit cleaner than this, hopefully, but just construction is messy. You're going to get comments, and people call. If they call, forward them to us, and we'll try to address their concerns as best we can. So I said earlier that it's about 6,000 feet of water main. We've separated that out into 6 phases of about 1,000 foot each. And at the end of each phase, when we get that water main in, we're going to pressure test that section of main. We're going to flush it to make sure there's no dirt or debris in the water main. We're going to chlorinate it, and there will be flushing water. So people might call and see, hey, there's a lot of water on the street. Well, that's what we're doing. We're trying to get the water main clear and ready to be used. Once the water main passes samples, there's no bacteria in the water main, then we can start transferring service lines. And we'll do that in the individual 6,000 foot sections. So the project will keep going along. As part of this project, if we encounter any lead service lines, we will be replacing that all the way from the water main to up and into the building. We stop right at the shutoff inside. It's usually right inside the building wall. And then after that is restoration. We're partnering this project with St. Louis County. We're getting ahead of their project to repave Charbonnier Road. And so that's why we're saving some money on restoration, and it saves us from tearing up the road after they get it paved. So after that, we're going to close out the project. We'll retire the water main that's there now. It'll be abandoned in place. We'll restore the yards and the street. We give a 1-year warranty for restoration work. We'll take ownership of the new main and the service lines up to and including the meter pits, and yards will be restored with seed and straw. Unless it's a zoysia yard, then we put down sod. So that's my presentation. Here's contact information. Ambria Powell will be the project manager. So she will be the main contact if you have any questions. Her contact information should be on that sheet that you have. I'm Mickey Redditch. If you can't get a hold of her, feel free to give me a call, or our customer service line is available 24 hours a day. So, do you have any questions?
Yes, I'm sure we're going to have a couple off the panel here, and I'll go last. We'll start with Mr. Parson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. How long do you expect this project to take once you guys begin?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Chair, Mr. Mayor, Council, we're expecting this to last about 8 months. So, to be honest with you, we want to underpromise and overdeliver. So, we've been in contact with the school already, the schools and the church there in the area. So, when it's feasible, we'll add additional crews to speed the project up.
Okay. And then from the time you guys complete it, has St. Louis County given you an idea on when they do repaving?
Their project is still scheduled for fall of 2024. That's the best I can tell you right now.
Okay, I understand. I have one more question. I slipped my mind. I'm sorry. I'll come back. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. Harris, I believe all my lights went off on my panel, so did you ring in, Mr. Harris?
I don't have a question anymore because you're already working with the school and the church. So that was going to be my question. Thank you.
Mr. Manganelli, I believe your light was on also.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Parson asked a lot of questions, but communication, this project is going to be on my side of Charbonnier, so it'll be a Ward 2. So my biggest concern would be communication to the residents and making sure they know when their driveway is going to be blocked and all that. So I'm assuming all that's going to be done.
Yes, our crew will typically, they don't block people's driveways for a long period of time because we keep the project moving. If somebody needs to get out, the crew is very good at letting them know, hey, we're going to be digging in front of your driveway today. When do you need to get out? And if they do need to get out, they can coordinate, either put a steel plate in front of their driveway or fill in the excavation. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's really all I had. Thank you.
Mr. Shildroth.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can you tell me when you estimate to begin?
They've already begun working out there.
Okay. Can you tell me how old those lines are?
So the 6-inch lines were installed in 1950. The 8-inch lines were put in 1962. That's about the age of the water mains that we're replacing most of the time.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this.
Mr. O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just was curious to know, would the water pressure be affected either during construction or after a new pipe is laid? Is there any change to that?
I don't expect any change in pressure. Our system in St. Louis County is robust enough. We've got enough redundancy that the pressure is more dictated by the system as a general, and we're pretty much replacing pipe in kind, and I don't expect a change in pressure. There will be some water shutdowns, and we will contact the customers who will be affected within, they'll have 24 hours notice of a shutdown, and we'll tell them about how long it should be.
Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. Parson, did you remember your question? Okay. Maybe I'll ask it. So I want to make sure that I'm clear on this. The project is on what I would call the north side of Charbonnier, is that correct?
Yes.
And so there'll be no work that's done on the other side where those drainage ditches are, correct?
We will need to cross it with service lines.
Services.
Yes.
And if you repeat what you said about the zoysia, I didn't quite hear that.
So if the customer has zoysia, we'll give them sod. Other than that, we put down grass, seed, and straw. We've had better luck with the grass, seed, and straw. We put down sod, and if it doesn't get maintained, it doesn't take hold, and then we have to replace it. We just have better luck with seed and straw, so that's what we do as a general rule.
Okay, thank you. I see no further questions from the council. Thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate it.
Next item on our agenda is hearing from citizens. This is a time to speak to the council for a period of 3 minutes for any item that is not necessarily on the agenda. This is not a question and answer period. If you would like to speak to a council member or to the mayor, please stay until after the meeting is complete and contact us then. If you are here to speak on a public hearing, please wait and speak when that public hearing is announced. If you wish to speak, I would ask you to complete a yellow card. They're located on the desk next to the front door of the chambers, and hand it to our city clerk, who will pass it down the dais. Is it him? Okay. The next item on our agenda is communications. We have no communications this week. Public hearings. The next item on the agenda is public hearings, and we have no public hearings this week. We do have old business, which is the next item on our agenda. Bills for second reading. Bill number 9951. Mr. Parson makes a motion for a second reading, and is seconded by Mr. O'Donnell. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Ordinance authorizing a transfer of special use permit number 7784 from J&J Pizza LLC, DBA Papa John's Pizza to Bajo, Illinois LLC, DBA Papa John's Pizza, located at 12735 New Halls Ferry Road, for the operation of a restaurant.
Mr. Parson makes a motion for a third reading, as seconded by Ms. Pagano. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Ordinance authorizing a transfer of special use permit number 7784 from J&J Pizza LLC, DBA Papa John's Pizza, to Bajco, Illinois LLC, DBA Papa John's Pizza, located at 12735 New Halls Ferry Road, for the operation of a restaurant.
Before the final vote is taken on this bill, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak towards it? Seeing none, please poll the council.
Siam? Harris?
Yes.
Manganelli?
Yes.
Egan?
Yes.
Shildroth?
Yes.
O'Donnell?
Yes.
Pagano? Parson?
Bill number 9951 passes and becomes ordinance number 8854. 8854. Bill number 9952. I will make a motion for a second reading that is seconded by Mr. Siam. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Ordinance authorizing a transfer of special use permit number 7796 from J&J Pizza LLC, DBA Papa John's Pizza, to Bajco, Illinois LLC, DBA Papa John's Pizza, located at 8209 North Lindbergh, for the operation of a restaurant.
I'll make a motion for a third reading that is seconded by Mr. O'Donnell. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Ordinance authorizing a transfer of special use permit number 7796 from J&J Pizza LLC, DBA Papa John's Pizza, to Bajco, Illinois LLC, DBA Papa John's Pizza, located 8209 North Lindbergh, for the operation of a restaurant.
Before the final vote is taken on this bill, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak towards it? Seeing none, clerk, please poll the council.
Siam? Harris? Manganelli?
Yes.
Egan?
Yes.
Shildroth?
Yes.
O'Donnell?
Yes.
Pagano? Parson?
Bill number 9952 passes and becomes ordinance number 8855. 8855. Bill number 9953. Mr. Siam makes a motion for a second reading that is seconded by Mr. Shildroth. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Ordinance authorizing transfer special use permit number 8158 from Yummy Delights Incorporated, DBA Cold Stone Creamery, to Chicago Scoops LLC, DBA Cold Stone Creamery, located at 14013 New Halls Ferry Road, for the operation of a restaurant.
Mr. Cyan makes a motion for third reading. That is seconded by Mr. Harris. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Ordinance authorizing a transfer special use permit number 8158 from Yummy Delights Incorporated, DBA Cold Stone Creamery, to Chicago Scoops LLC, DBA Cold Stone Creamery, located at 14013 New Halls Ferry, for the operation of a restaurant.
Before the final vote is taken on this bill, is there anyone in the audience present that would like to make comment? Seeing none, clerk, please poll the council.
Siam? Harris? Manganelli?
Yes.
Egan?
Yes.
Shildroth?
Yes.
O'Donnell?
Yes.
Pagano? Parson?
Bill number 9953 passes and becomes ordinance number 8856. 8856. New business. Board appointments. Appointment of Marty Margerio to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Mr. O'Donnell makes a motion to make this appointment. That is seconded by Mr. Shildroth. Any discussion? There you go.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to mention that Marty Margario has been a North County resident his whole life. Grew up in Ferguson, Cool Valley, and I've known him since we were young boys when he went to the same grade school, was a classmate of my brother. For the last 25 years, he and his wife, Sharon, have lived on St. Antone, and he graduated from the University of Missouri at Rolla with a mechanical engineering degree, and for the last almost 40 years worked at McDonnell Douglas and subsequently Boeing as a structural engineer and a test and evaluation manager. He's now retired, a woodworker and a gardener, and I just know that Marty will be a great asset to our Planning and Zoning Commission. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. O'Donnell. There's a motion on the floor that's been seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the appointment is made. Next item on the agenda is request. Councilman O'Donnell moves to approve a request for a full liquor by the drink license for Big Belly Deli, LLC, located at 392 St. Ferdinand. That is seconded by Mr. Shildroth. Is there any discussion? I would like to make a motion to suspend the rules and request that the petitioner step forward. As seconded by Mr. Shildroth. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Is the petitioner present? Mr. Timmerman, Mr. Boyd? Good evening, gentlemen.
So I'm Chris Timmerman. I'm the co-owner of the Big Belly Deli here with Nick. I'm a lifelong resident of Florissant, Missouri. I grew up off Pepper Hill Drive. I went to CBC for high school and then Missouri State for college. I've been in the food industry all my life, as trying to follow the steps of my father, being successful in that way. But we are here to seek our liquor license.
My name is Nick Boyd, also born and raised in Florissant. I went to McNair, then to Northwest Middle, and then graduated from Hazelwood West. I also graduated college from UMSL with a degree in entrepreneurship. I currently co-own as well Fruit Snacks Farm over at Blackfoot Park, and I also grow 5 acres of garlic over at Confluence Farms, Shackelford and Weehop.
Thank you, gentlemen, for being here tonight. I got a couple of questions about this. Will you explain to the council why you want to get a full liquor by the drink license?
Yeah, absolutely. So we take pride in a lot of our food, and food's our number one thing. But if we could add a nice beverage to go along with the food, we feel like that can go a long way with parent stuff and creating a good environment for what we plan to do in the future and where we plan to take our food as well. You know, we're not going to be a club or anything along that line. Our hours are 10:30 to 3 every day. We may stay open for a happy hour here or there, do some type of wine tasting, some type of alcohol tasting with someone who really knows how to present that to those people that wish to attend that.
So you stated that you're not going to be a club. Are you going to have music, a DJ?
Yeah, we might have some live music every once in a while, but nothing, you know, late night, no long nights, anything like that. Like I said, our longest we plan to have a happy hour would be 7:30 at night. Nothing into, you know, the late night, early morning hours. You know, we aren't in too big of a residential area, so there's really no houses around us. If we were to use our patio to its full capacity, and have when the weather turns nice, we might, you know, put someone singing some acoustic music out there as well. But as far as, you know, we won't be taking cover or anything for that. We won't be, you know, selling anything to get more people in there. We just, you know, it's all by word of mouth, and just we just want to have a good family fun environment going on.
Mr. Shildroff.
Thank you, Mr. President. Most of my questions were answered, but Chris, I just want to ask you, do you really want to stick with your statement, or do you want to follow in your dad's footsteps?
I do, yes. Absolutely, 100%. So.
Okay. Thank you. Good luck.
Mr. Parson.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. So, good evening, gentlemen. I only have a couple questions. You mentioned the hours of your place, and I got maybe a little bit confused on what you stated, because were you just talking about your happy hours until 3, or
So our regular hours currently are 10:30 till 3 or sold out. But right now we've just been, whenever we've kind of like threw around the idea of getting this liquor license, we're kind of thinking about maybe having a happy hour once every month, maybe bi-weekly. And that would only be open till about 7 p.m. And that was kind of like still the latest we were intending on staying open. We kind of like the freedom we get of being open for lunch.
Right. So your main focus on selling the food is still going to be
Oh,
during
yeah.
the lunch hours
1000%,
until 3,
yeah.
but whenever you have a happy hour, then you'll be open later. Any chance you'll be open later than 7:30 at some point?
I really don't intend to now.
Okay. And I've never been inside your establishment as of yet. Let me say that.
Yeah.
But how big is your place?
So we have 34-person capacity upstairs and 25-person capacity downstairs.
Okay. All right.
And downstairs we only have tables for 8 people downstairs, and we have a wall that we have like a little like a countertop bar stool area as well. So we tend to have most of our people sitting upstairs.
Okay. All right. Outstanding. Thank you. That's all the questions I have.
Thank you very much. Not seeing any other further questions from the council. There's a motion to grant the liquor license in a second. All in favor? Roll call vote, please.
Siam? Yes. Harris?
Yes.
Manganelli?
Yes.
Egan?
Yes.
Shildroth?
Yes.
O'Donnell?
Yes.
Pagano? Parson?
Yes.
And the liquor license is approved. Good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Bills for first reading. Bill number 9954. We have resolutions. We do. My apologies.
Missed a page.
Two of them. Resolution 1055.
A resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Florissant to make an application for a grant for the purposes of creating master plan for St. Ferdinand Park.
Councilman Pagano moves for second reading, seconded by Mr. Harris. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
A resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Florissant to make an application for a grant for the purposes of creating a master plan for St. Ferdinand Park.
Mr. O'Donnell makes a motion for a third reading. That is seconded by Mr. Manganelli. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Siam? Harris. Manganelli. Egan.
Yes.
Shildroth.
Yes.
O'Donnell. Pagano. Parson. A resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Florissant to make an application for a grant for the purposes of creating a master plan for St. Ferdinand Park.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this resolution? Seeing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
Siam. Harris. Manganelli. Egan.
Yes.
Shildroth.
Yes.
O'Donnell. Pagano. Parson.
Resolution number 1055 passes. Resolution number 1056.
A resolution urging senators and representatives of the Missouri General Assembly to oppose any legislation or proposal to eliminate the taxation of retail sales on food.
Mr. Manganelli makes a motion for second reading. That is seconded by Mr. Shildroth. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
A resolution urging senators and representatives of the Missouri General Assembly to oppose any legislation or proposal to eliminate taxation of retail sales on food.
Councilman Pagano makes a motion for third reading. That is seconded by Mr. Siam. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Siam? Harris? Manganelli? Egan?
Yes.
Shildroth?
Yes.
O'Donnell?
Yes.
Pagano? Parson. A resolution urging senators and representatives of the Missouri General Assembly to oppose any legislation or proposal to eliminate the taxation of retail sales on food.
Before the final vote is taken on this resolution, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak towards it? And seeing none, clerk, please poll the council.
Siam? Harris? Manganelli? Egan?
Yes.
Shildroth?
Yes.
O'Donnell? Pagano? Parson.
Resolution number 1056 passes. Now we're on to new business. Items, bills for first reading. Bill number 9954.
Ordinance appropriating $75,000 to account number 403-561-00405, Capital Additions Golf, for the repair and replacement of the deck at the golf course.
Move for a second.
Mr. Schildhoff makes a motion for a second reading. That is seconded by myself. Is there any discussion? Mr. Schildhoff.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to give a brief history of this appropriation. Probably 15 to 20 years ago, we entered into a golf cart lease by then Mayor Bob Lowry. Part of that golf cart lease included a building of the deck that's at the golf course presently. Last summer, I was up there for an event that I hosted, and Sam Fryhoff, our golf superintendent, said they wanted to show me something, and we went underneath the deck, and I could see that it was in need of being repaired or possibly replaced. And the mayor, with his due diligence, has gone out and solicited bids for this project. Simply put, you can't have an event at a golf course without that deck, and that deck needs to be safe. And that's why I'm going to respectfully ask for my colleagues to support three readings tonight, because work needs to begin. And after speaking with the mayor a couple of times on this, the work will be complete by April, and the only tournament we are going to miss is the St. Patrick's Day one in March. So it's a vital part to our experience at the golf course, and I'm respectfully asking everybody on the dais for three readings tonight. Thank you, Mr. President.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Ordinance appropriating $75,000 to account number 403-561-00405, Capital Additions Golf, for the repair and replacement of the deck at the golf course.
Mr. Schildroff makes a motion for a third reading. That is seconded by Ms. Pagano, I believe. Roll call vote, please.
Siam? Harris? Manganelli? Egan?
Yes.
Shildroth?
Yes.
O'Donnell? Pagano? Parson. Ordinance appropriating $75,000 to account number 403-56100-405, capital additions golf for the repair and replacement of the deck at the golf course.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak to this bill? Seeing none, clerk, please poll the council.
Siam, Harris? Manganelli? Egan?
Yes.
Shildroth?
Yes.
O'Donnell? Pagano? Parson?
Bill number 9954 passes and becomes ordinance number 8857. Bill number 9955.
Ordinance appropriating $25,000 to account number 403-53030, vehicle repairs and maintenance, parks for vehicle repairs for park maintenance.
Move for second.
Mr. Shildroth makes a motion for second reading and is seconded by Mr. Parson. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Ordinance appropriating $25,000 to account number 403-53030, vehicle repairs and maintenance, parks for vehicle repairs for park maintenance.
Mr. Shildroth makes a motion for a third reading and is seconded by Mr. Harris. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Siam? Harris? Manganelli? Egan?
Yes.
Shildroth?
Yes.
O'Donnell?
Yes.
Pagano? Parson? Ordinance appropriating $25,000 to account number 403-53030, vehicle repairs and maintenance, parks for vehicle repairs and for park maintenance.
Before the final vote is taken on this bill, is there anyone in the audience present that would like to speak towards it? Seeing none, clerk, please poll the council.
Siam? Harris? Manganelli? Egan?
Yes.
Shildroth?
Yes.
O'Donnell?
Yes.
Pagano? Parson?
Bill number 9955 passes and becomes ordinance number 8858, 8858. Bill number 9956.
An ordinance to amend Title II, Chapter 245, Parks and Recreation of the Florissant City Code, Section 245180, fees for use to adjust fees for various park facilities.
Mr. Shildroth makes a motion for second reading. I will second that motion. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
An ordinance to amend Title II, Chapter 245, Parks and Recreation of the Florissant City Code, Section 245180, fees for use to adjust fees for use for various park facilities.
Mr. Shildroth makes a motion for third reading. That is seconded by Mr. Manganelli. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Siam? Harris? Manganelli? Egan?
Yes.
Shildroth?
Yes.
O'Donnell?
Yes.
Pagano? Parson? Ordinance to amend Title II, Chapter 245, Parks and Recreation of the Florissant City Code, Section 245180, fees for use to adjust fees for use for various park facilities.
Before the final vote is taken on this bill, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak towards it? Seeing none, clerk, please poll the council.
Siam? Harris? Manganelli? Egan?
Yes.
Shildroth?
Yes.
O'Donnell?
Yes.
Pagano? Parson?
Bill number 9956 passes and becomes ordinance number 8859, 8859. The next item on the agenda is council announcements. Mr. O'Donnell.
Present. This Saturday, February the 17th, at the VFW on St. Francis, the VFW, beginning at 10 a.m., is hosting a Veterans Resource Day. They're going to have people there to help veterans understanding or with the filing of benefits. If you are a veteran and need help with anything that you're not sure about in terms of a disability claim or whatever, this event is for you. You do not need to be a member of the VFW to participate in this event. There will be representatives from the VA to talk about SAVE training, suicide prevention. There will also be representatives from Honor Flight and a chaplain. They're going to have a lunch. This is not only for veterans, because in the afternoon they're also going to have two other elements to their resource day. The very first is at 1 p.m. with a program called Bridge the Gap, where Bridget Caldwell will be present. to invite local youth to come and talk with veterans regarding their experiences. So I would just encourage your parents. This is a great opportunity to have children ages, say, 9 to 17, to come and meet and interact with real heroes. Additionally, in that time frame, there is also going to be a presentation from Claire McGill. Claire is a Air Force vet and also the founder and owner of Jack Foundation for the Arts, located in the old Nagels building. And Claire's going to be there talking about art therapy sessions for veterans. And Jack is a nonprofit foundation for the arts that nurtures the artistic expression and fosters community through a variety of enriching programs. So I would encourage all to come for a full day of events sponsored by the VFW this coming Saturday beginning at 10 a.m. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. O'Donnell. Mr. Parson.
Thank you, Mr. President. First off, I just want to thank everybody who attended the African American History and Culture Steps show that took place on February the 3rd at the theater here in Florissant. It was very well attended. I was extremely happy to see the increase in participation by the McClure North step team. They had maybe about 5 participants last year, and this year it was almost, I think, about 3 times as many. So they had a great show. We collected a lot of canned goods and non-perishable items to go to Team Food Pantry. They were very appreciative once they received all of those items. So I'm just thankful for everybody's participation in that event. And then also in honor of Black History Program, Black History Month, I just want to state a little bit about Homer G. Phillips. Homer G. Phillips was an American lawyer from Sedalia, Missouri, who moved to St. Louis, and he's an African-American political figure. He was a prominent advocate for civil rights, and he was a co-founder of the Citizens Liberty League, which was a political organization in Missouri to advance the interests of African Americans in politics. In 1928, he was the president of the St. Louis chapter of the National Bar Association. In 1931, at the age of 51 years old, he was gunned down in St. Louis in an alleged dispute over legal fees that were owed to him. After his death, a hospital in St. Louis he helped organize was named in his honor, which of course is Homer G. Phillips Hospital, which is near the Ville neighborhood. There is currently an award-winning documentary that you can watch on Amazon Prime and then also watch on PBS that discusses how that hospital was developed and how it allowed the Ville neighborhood to prosper during that time and how it was the largest African-American hospital in the world at the time. So it's very interesting to see a lot of people that we know from the St. Louis area make comments in that documentary. So if you ever get an opportunity to watch it, then I would say that you need to take some time to do that. Because honestly, thinking about Homer G. Phillips, I think about the hospital for years. I thought Homer G. Phillips was a doctor because it just made sense to me that he would be a doctor. So it was surprising for me to find out that he was a lawyer. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. I've got several announcements tonight. First, the city will be holding a public hearing for the Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report for the Community Development Block Grant Program for the fiscal year 2023. That public hearing will be held at 5 p.m. on Wednesday, February 28th at the Government Building. Excited that this week we are going to actually open up our esports arena, Fusion 314. On Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week, it will be an open house from noon to 8. And on Friday, for February 16th, we'll have our grand opening from 3 to 10. It's very exciting. Please come out. It's really neat what they've done. The staff's done a great job with that. We have the 3rd annual Florissant St. Patrick's Day Parade Festival and 5K Run. This is going to be on Sunday, March the 10th. The 5K Run and Walk will start at 9 a.m. at the Duchesne Home Association, which is the Knights Columbus grounds. The St. Patrick's Day Parade will start at noon, beginning at both Bangor Park and Duchesne Elementary School, It will end at the Duchesne Home Association, where the festival will begin at 1 o'clock and end at 6. Our Valley of Flowers Festival, the committee's working hard to get ready for that. That's going to be from May 3rd to May 5th. This will be our 62nd annual Valley of Flowers Festival. And there's several different opportunities for sponsorships. Please look on their website or contact their office or Becca, or numbers 837-0033. And something else that's really neat that's coming to the city of Florissant, as maybe a lot of you guys remember, we had the bike race last year. This year, the city of Florissant has been chosen to be chosen to host the final leg of the Bommarito Audi West County Gateway Cup. And this will be our second race, but this could be held on Labor Day weekend. We have the last day, which will be on Monday, September the 2nd. It'll be very exciting. Over 500 racers will be there, and we're looking for another great day in Florissant. And I just also wanted to wish my wife a happy anniversary. On Wednesday, we'll be married 37 years. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next meeting of the Florissant City Council will be Monday, February 26, 2024. Councilman Cyan makes a motion to adjourn this meeting. That is seconded by Mr. Manganelli. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the council shall stand adjourned. Thank you.